get your cake. John O'Brien will serve it to you personally.
Big, isn't it? Big and beautiful. Oh, I know some say it's too drab. Needs more color. But I don't buy it. Listen, it takes more than paint and decorations to make a building great. You know what makes this building great? People. That's right, people. Without people, this place would be just another stone stadium. It took people to tax themselves to pay for it, and it took people to build it. I was one of those people, running the machine that pumped the concrete to pour the roof. Yep, those were my people, but they were just part of a team. Before a shovel of dirt was ever turned, people from all walks of community life pitched in to make this project possible. Volunteer workers ringing doorbells, design teams, and site selection committees. This place used to be covered by railroad tracks. Before that, it was covered by Puget Sound. In fact, it took nearly 2,000 concrete-filled pipes sunk 60 feet into hardpan to build the supports for the roof columns. Once the early work was done, it seemed like the stadium grew with leaps and bounds. Well, so much for reminiscing. Time to go to work. Today's project, convert the stadium from football to basketball. We only have a few hours to do it, but we have the people who can do the job. Watch. The voters said they wanted a multipurpose stadium, and that's what they got. Complete with 7,000 cubic yards of dirt. That's what it takes to stage a first-class supercross. A little less for a rodeo. Then you have to get rid of the dirt to accommodate the boat show. And the auto show. And even a Boeing Christmas show. And everywhere people. And what do they come to see? People. Baseball people. Football people. Basketball people. Soccer people. People playing things. People waving things. And even people selling things. But there are some people and places they don't see. Modern, spacious locker rooms. People waiting. People dining. And people working. The Kingdome is definitely a place for people. People. An average of 3 million annually visit the Kingdome. And why not? The people build it. The people own it. It really is a people's place.
Yes, this is really an airplane, a Casper Wing Ultralight to be exact, and it is flying inside the Kingdome. This plane and another like it will race during the halftime show of the Paper Airplane Championships this coming Sunday. The promoter, Michael Campbell, apparently feels he has to outdo himself at the halftime show every year. In previous championships, hang gliders and parachutists have leapt to the Kingdome stadium floor. One would think an airplane race wouldn't be the safest event to stage. Tens of thousands of people are expected to show up for the contest. Campbell has the event loaded with insurance.
Yeah, it's pretty dangerous, and I think it's the first time a aircraft has ever flown inside a building with a human being inside the plane, so we'll have to wait and see.
The pilot who did the demonstration flight for reporters today is the co-inventor of the hang glider turned airplane. He says, aside from being careful not to hit the speakers hung from the ceiling, the only other thing to worry about is turbulence. How do you get turbulence inside the Kingdome?
Your own turbulence. You leave it behind every time you go around. One time it leaves a little bit of turbulence behind, so every time you go around you hit it in the same spot. It's always in the same spot every time. So you want to keep constantly changing your flight path so that you avoid the turbulence left behind in the first lap.
Despite the way it looks, Steve says it isn't so much dangerous as tricky, and he says it gets safer the more practice one has. He points out, though, that by the time race day rolls around on Sunday, he'll have more practice that his opponent, Gary Wilson, will have. In the Kingdome, Roger Gadley for the 10 o'clock news.